Namaste, a very good morning. I'd like to try and summarize and put everything in one whole short talk without being personal and without assumption, just with the facts of the experience. What is going on? What takes place, you see? That what is original and true, that what reality is born from, has to come from a source. It's fact, you know. We can't have power without wind. Wind is the source. So, very briefly, I. This I is a phallic symbol. It is a tower. It can be classed as male. This I developed its own consciousness in one magical, mysterious moment. Science calls it the Big Bang. Religion calls it that immaculate birth, which Christ subsequently went through. But there's only a male. In this occasion, there's only a male. There's a phallic, symbolic I. Develops its own consciousness. I is still, I is stable, I is non-moving. You can say I is non-existing. It is invisible. It's a mirror. It's just full of infinite possibilities in this tower. And this consciousness that it develops enshrouds itself, that like that feminine, moving, vaginal enshrouding of that I. But they don't connect. They don't connect. And the Sistine Chapel shows that very clearly with the two fingers where God and Adam, or whatever it is, there's a space. A space between the breaths, in and out. There's a space between the thoughts. They're not a chain, although they appear to be. There's a space between the light switch going on and off. Sometimes it's neither on nor off. There's a moment where it's neither on nor off. This moment is life. This moment is that ejaculation of overflowing life. And that's all that takes place. That's all that takes place. And this is evident in everything. Everything is evident that it takes life. So life spews God or consciousness, male and female, as one, as this overflowing fountain of love, as this maple and the ribbons that enshroud it and dance around it and continually caress it, and more love. And that's the basis of what took place. That's God. Now, I want to move very quickly on and tell you what takes place. And if you really listen to these words, you may find something shift. You might find something change in your life, in your mind, in your beingness. Everything that exists is awakening. There's no beginning or end. Awakening goes on and on and on and on, beyond and beyond. How is this seen? Well, it's experienced in every moment, in every day, in every being, in every form, in everything that takes place, in every atom, in every molecule is awakening. You can say as a person, I am awakening when your body goes to sleep at night. You're awake and then suddenly you're asleep. That's what we've created. That's the assumption. Because there's nothing happening and you appear to be out of this world, that you have gone to sleep. Yes? But what if the speaker says, well, you're awakening to sleep? Yeah. Every time the speaker speaks, it's awakened to that, what was spoken, and it gives birth to that, what will come next. So when the body dies, you awaken to death. And on awakening to death, death awakened, or you that awakens to death, can awaken to witnessing your body below. And then you awaken to the what comes next. It's just a constant awakening. You awaken to every thought as an old thought, a new thought. You awaken to every experience. You awaken to every breath. You know, I breathe. And now I'm awakening to the next breath. This love that spews is constant. So what is it that we do wrong? Is that we try and give names and identities and ends and sections and periods to what is an ongoing existence. There's no end to you and me. There's no end to anything. Because that what awakens, or has a mind that awakens to anything, must continue to awaken. And the awakening simply goes on. You awaken every moment and every day, even in deep sleep. For the first time in years, I had a dream. Now, deep sleep is so profound for this speaker. And when the dream, I awakened in deep sleep to the dream. Okay? So no longer deep sleep, because I am awakened to a dream. Now when the dream was over, and I awakened to life, as we call it, I awakened that deep sleep was gone, and now I'm fully awake. I realized that what dreamt it had no say in what was taking place. Even though there was maybe possibly an attempt to try and stop parts of the dream, unable to stop it. So the dream itself was awakening to itself. And it was spewing out what it wanted to dream about. And how there was no one able to control this dream. Now, dream is a mental state. The body played no part. We, as human forms, have an ability to control our body. Yeah? We can stop hitting the wall by putting an internal force. I want to hit the wall. No. And something stops you. We can control our bodies. But we have no control over our minds. The mind is what gives us an opportunity to realize that when you awaken to God, okay, what can stay? What can remain? What can keep that what is ongoing? By trying to control an enlightened state, a non-dual state, a meeting with God, a breath, is suffering. When you try and keep and maintain that what is ongoing, try and stifle it, stop it, put a name to it, categorize it, a state, put it in a folder, you're going to have to awaken to it at some point. Yeah? You put something in your attic, you say, I don't need this anymore. You're awakening to the whole experience. I awaken, I pick this up. Yeah. I'm awakening now that I'm going to do something with it. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the attic. Yeah. No more object. No more object. The mind, 7-10 days later, says, awakens to the thought, I may need that object. You go, you pick out the object. Was the object gone, or was the object always there? Awakening allows you to see that everything that exists, even though there is no attention on it, it exists. So whatever the mind wants to awaken to, not you. You have no control over this life. You have control over ways of trying to control that what is a natural awakening. And these ways will give you temporary, brief encounters with happiness, love. And these are pain, pleasure, and these are conditioned with, a contract states. You have to be happy because of this, or you are happy because of that. These are contracted states that we have created to give us some sort of hope and belief that there is something other than this temporary states. And the encounter with awakening, with the realization that consciousness itself is creating through this overflowing awakening, momentary, bit by bit love, realizes that there is nothing else but change. And to be in the change and to awaken, aware of the awakening of every moment. I had a thought. I awoke to the thought. The thought has passed. I am awakening to the passing of the thought. I am awakening to feeling good about recognizing that thoughts are passing. There's nothing else taking place but ongoing life. There's no end to you. The body, when it passes, you awaken to death. The death, when it passes, you awaken to no more body. That what awakens the no more body will awaken to something else. Deep sleep. The deep sleep will then awaken. Or that what you are as deep sleep will awaken to whatever is coming next. We're a recycling pod. No beginning, no end. Because I and consciousness were never separate. Consciousness was always enshrouding I. Always. The minute they connect, that fingers touch, all gone. Like the magnet. The magnet pulls the iron filings, keeps its distance, and when the iron filings hits the magnet, no more pulling. Everything is pointing to that what is true. If you want to summarize, I and consciousness as what we call source, or God, is awakening to itself. If you take away I and consciousness as God, because you don't need to know about that introduction, if you take it away, then awakening is awakening to itself. And awakening to itself just echoes and replicates all through this universes and cosmoses to give you that moment-to-moment idea, moment-to-moment knowing. Wow, it's so beautiful to recognize that the thought that I had, I awoke it. I awoke to it. And in the passing, I awoke to the passing. And to the knowledge that I awoke to the passing, I awoke to the knowledge. And that, what awakes to the knowledge, continues to awake and build up this knowledge, this wisdom, and this freedom and this liberation. That what is awakening is always awakening. And that is the truth of life.